Hello and welcome. In this video, I'm going to show you how to solve a quadratic equation by completing the square. So the only thing you will need to know before we get started is remember that the standard form of a quadratic equation is ax squared plus bx plus c. So in our case, c is minus 13, b is minus 4, and a is 1. Now, the reason we want to solve this equation here by completing the square is because we cannot find two numbers that we can group to solve this. So we cannot find two numbers that add to negative 4 but also multiply to minus 13, as no two numbers multiply to minus 13. So we have to solve it another way, and that way for this video is completing the square. Now, when you're completing the square, you just want to follow a few steps which I will take you through in this video. The first step is to move your c term to the other side of the equation. So our c is minus 13 and we want to move it to this side. So to get minus 13 off of this side, we add 13 to both sides of our equation. As what you do to one side, you also do to the other. So if we do that, we have x squared minus 4x is equal to 13. Next up, this is the most crucial part of the equation, as we have to make it a perfect square, hence why we call it completing the square. To do that, we take our b value. If we look what our b value is here, it's minus 4. And we take that value and we divide it by 2, and then we square the whole thing. So if we do that, minus 4 divided by 2 is equal to minus 2 squared, and minus 2 squared is equal to 4. Once we get that value, the value of b over 2 squared, so this value, you always have to get this value, it's b over 2 squared. We pop that value into this equation now. So we have x squared minus 4x, and here's the crucial part. We have to pop in this value we just found using this equation here, which is plus 4, and then we just have equals 13. But remember, what you do to one side of the equation, you have to do to the other. So we just put plus 4 here, meaning we also have to put plus 4 on this side. So that gives us 17 on this side. Now if you look at this side of the equation, we can see that this is a perfect square, as we can factorize this to x minus 2 squared, as these two equations are the same. This is just the expanded version and this is your factorized version, and that is still equal to 17. Now we have x all by itself. Up here we had x here and x here, making it very difficult to solve. Now that we have one x, we can simply use inverse operations to solve this equation for x. So first of all, let's get rid of this squared up here by taking the square root of both sides. So that gives us x minus 2 is equal to root 17. And the most important part here that so many students mess up is this isn't just root 17. This is plus or minus root 17. As when you have the square root of something, say 16, the answer is not just 4. As 4 times 4 does equal 16, but so does minus 4 times minus 4 is equal to 16. So that will be the biggest mistake that kids will make. So don't be one of those kids. Make sure you have plus or minus your square root. And the final step is you have minus 2 here, so let's get rid of that minus 2 from both sides by adding 2 to both sides, giving us x is equal to 2 plus or minus root 17. And that's your answer. We write our answer like this because this is the exact value. And this just means, remember, so we have plus or minus. So our answer is x is equal to 2 plus root 17, or x is equal to 2 minus 17. But to include both in the same, so you don't have to write both out, you can just put this plus or minus. And that's how you solve for x by completing the square. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, please consider liking and subscribing. See you next time.